Okay, so another area I wanted to iterate and talk more in depth about is like the weird sleep habits that is the weird sleep habits that I started to form because of my chronic dizziness. And I would say this probably started in high school. Like high school, like literally, I could not get to sleep. There would be days where I would sleep 2 hours and go into school and just be a complete fucking zombie and just be so dizzy, just be so lightheaded, just feel like I'm gonna faint every 2 seconds. And obviously, the sleep would just tank the dizziness and make it so much more worse, and the debarkment so much more worse. But there's like these weird habits that, like, I watched progress and oscillate over the years, right? So I started noticing that, like, whenever I'm laying in bed, if I were to like if I get in bed, my face is always tight. I'm always like clenching my face, and everything's all tight. And if I go to relax my muscles, I'll feel a dropping sensation. It feels like, oh shit, like I gotta like hold on to the bed. And I started feeling that in school as well, like sitting at my desk, in the chairs at school. Anytime I look down, I would get like, even to this day, I could kind of induce it a little bit, but, I would always look down at my desk and I would feel like a dropping sensation. And like that would come about a lot of the time if I were to consciously relax my muscle, because I would notice my whole body is just tense and there's all this muscle tension in the back of my neck and spine, like all down my back and lower back and face. My whole face is always just like, every time I go to sleep and I put my head on the pillow, I can feel my face is just like a fist. And once I started to like relax around the eyes, relax around this area, it'd be like, oh shit. Like it would feel like I just fell out of the fucking sky. It was really weird. And I still get those symptoms a little bit to this day. But after I'm about a month into work to doing VOR exercises and whatnot, and those have like dramatically decreased, but they're still there. Like, don't get me wrong. And just over the years, like I watch as like certain areas on my pillow, like the best way for me to sleep is on my back in terms of dizziness, like rolling over to my left and right side. This is where the pillow kind of gets in the way, I feel. And like the pillow will push up against certain parts of my neck and I'll feel it put pressure on certain parts of the neck. And that'll make me dizzy. That'll make me have like a dropping, like a jolt, like a hypnagogic type of jolt. And same thing, like rolling over to the left and right, I'll feel the pillow like put pressure up on my neck in a certain way, and I'll start spinning. I'll start getting dizziness like that. That's what makes sleeping just so fucking hellish. And then about like, hours in, it takes me like 6 hours of sleep sometimes. And, eventually my body kind of like assimilates to that, and it kind of like dissolves a little bit, and I can kind of relax. And it just feels like it just takes a long time to get used to that. But right when I get in bed, it's hell. It's awful. I lay on the bed, my muscles are all tight. I'm trying to relax them, and I just feel like I'm falling through the bed, and the pillow's pushing up against my neck in certain ways. So that's where like a lot of the research I did on my neck around like what Dr. Hauser is saying about the neck issues and about how it triggers, the nausea, because that's a huge thing for me as well. There's a lot of days where I wake up choking on acid reflux, because I would, and that always happens mostly when I lay on my back, and I wake up and I feel my neck is crunched in like that. Like all this area is like, like that. And I could feel, it just feels like everything on my neck is being pulled. When I lay down on my bed and I lay down on the pillow, like all of the muscles in the face and the neck, everything feels like it's just being yanked on it. And it just feels like if I try to relax, I start getting like, I can feel my muscles kind of relaxing and going like this. And then they kind of like almost like spaz out. And like I'll get dizzy like that. And it's really strange. And there's a lot of days I wake up with like a ton of acid reflux. And it is not fun to deal with. So I noticed that once I started doing the VOR exercises, which is like, I do this, up, down, holding it to the right and left, holding it to diagonals, just doing all those eye exercises. I notice I can turn my neck better. I can like, I don't feel those pillow sensations on my neck as much after doing the VOR exercises. So I try to do them also right before bed. I do the VOR exercise the first thing when I wake up and then throughout my day. And then I make sure I do it right before bed, and I can notice the difference in my neck. And my chiropractor, who he was explaining to me, he's like, yeah, when you stimulate that VOR, it's gonna, the muscles in the back of your neck control the eyes and whatever. So that's my sleep. That's what else do I read? Oh, and obviously the pots. Obviously, waking up with the pots, and I could feel there's days where my neck is crunched up, and I go to stand up out of bed, and I almost fall over. But yeah, so that's hard to deal with. But it's a lot of the falling sensation when laying in bed. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of feeling like, there's days where like I would wake up and my neck would be kind of like just really crunched up and like just in a bad like position like that, and it feels like I think I'm having a seizure. I can feel like all through my body like a hypnagogic jerk like that, and it wakes me up. And that's one of the worst things that I go through, and it obviously makes sleeping that much horrible. So I'm just gonna keep doing the VOR, just keep fixing my neck. I still have a military neck. I still want to fix the curvature of the neck, and can fix the C1 and everything. So that's my story about sleep for now. Let me know if anybody else has symptoms like that.
They should have used a condom.
So let me know.